You're watching Mirror Now. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming out of the break, we're joined by Mr. Soli Sorabjee, former Attorney General of India. Mr. Sorabjee is also one of the foremost legal minds we have in the country right now. Mr. Sorabjee, thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting morning we've had. In India, everyone's eyes have been on Parliament and the no confidence motion that was, that had taken centre stage today. But setting aside the antics and the theatrics and focusing on the actual conversations and the debate that took place, do you believe that the opposition led by the Congress party has made a strong enough case for the no confidence motion that they tabled?
I don't really think so. I mean, they of course criticize the government as they're entitled to. They pointed out the various defects, but they didn't make a very convincing case. And what did Rahul do? He just, after the speech which he made, all superlatives, this, that, rest of it, attack the Prime Minister, and then he goes to hug the Prime Minister and gives a wink. So, I mean, it's childish. This is not the way you conduct a no confidence motion. There must be some seriousness about it. And actually, I think it was a foregone conclusion that they won't have the numbers, but they were hoping they would get some people to break away from BJP and join them. I don't think that will happen. I haven't seen the latest. I don't know what's happening now. Is it still going on, the proceedings?
Yes, it is. There are still members of Parliament who are making their submissions, to the Speaker and before the House. But the interesting numbers that you did mention numbers, Mr. Sorabjee, but if we consider the allies right now, we'll notice that one of the strongest allies of the BJP, which is the Shiv Sena, have chosen to walk out and not vote with the government or not stand by the government. The TDP, which was an ally in 2014, was actually one of the members who tabled the no confidence motion. Do you see that perhaps as the allies breaking away from the BJP?
Well, that's an indication. Finally, what they do, I don't know. I don't think the Shiv Sena will support it. They may abstain. Others will abstain. But one thing is certain. They have brought out, if I may say, the chinks in the Modi government. What I mean is that they have persuaded some people to come to their way of thinking. But then, ultimately, I don't think it will lead to any result in the sense they won't succeed in the no confidence motion. They haven't the numbers, and I don't think they will get them.
And Mr. Sorabjee, if we actually set aside, like I said, the theatrics, and I'll come back to that, but the points that were placed before the House by the members of opposition, things like lynching, minority affairs, safety for women, for example, farmer crisis, the economy, banking frauds, these are real issues. Do you think that at least as Indians, we've had the opportunity to hear debate or to witness debate about these topics in Parliament, because we haven't had too much of that in the last year or so?
That's true, Faye. They have succeeded in pointing out certain chinks in the armor of the Modi government. To that extent, they have succeeded. They've had a good opportunity to vent the grievances, point out what are the shortcomings of the government. But ultimately what? Ultimately, they won't succeed in having the no confidence motion pass. But I suppose what they want to do is to have a free run in criticizing the government, which they're entitled to and they have it. But the result will be, I think, that it won't be carried. They know it. Surely they know it. They haven't the numbers. But then let's take this opportunity to win the government. And what do you make of it? You attack the PM, then you go and hug him, then you wink. I mean, it's childish. There must be some seriousness about it.
Right, and it does seem also that the Congress has run into a second problem here, and this is with Rahul Gandhi's mention of the fact that France had confided in him that they were able to share those details, and those details of the Rafale deal and the cost of those aircraft could actually be made public. And we've now had a statement from the country. They've said that we've taken note of Mr. Rahul Gandhi's statement before the Indian Parliament. There was a security arrangement between France and India signed in 2008, which means the UPA government signed it, which commits that the two states protect classified information provided by the partner, which could in particular impact security and operational capacity. India or France. The provisions naturally apply to intergovernmental agreement that was concluded in 2016 concerning the acquisition of 36 Rafale and their armaments. As the President of the Republic said publicly on the 9th of March in an interview, France as in India were in an agreement it was very sensitive and we cannot reveal the details. So do you believe this punctures a massive hole into the speech that Rahul Gandhi made in Parliament today?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's taken even seriously. They like his sort of dramatics, which he performs in the House, but no one really takes him seriously. And that's what I feel, because I know that the man hasn't got any his maturity. It seems so childish. He's having a good time. I like the Prime Minister go and hug him, then wink and all that. And about the various things you mentioned, we have nothing except his word. There's nothing to substantiate what he says. It's only his oral statement. So what credence can we give to that?
And Mr. Sorabjee, the particular incident of the hugging and the winking, we did have the Speaker of the House come back after the adjournment to say that she believed that it didn't make, the demeanor of the House, this is not appropriate behavior inside of the House. There's no precedent at all whatsoever for someone sort of hugging without permission, especially the Prime Minister inside of Parliament. Do you think a line was crossed there, in the things that Rahul Gandhi said and the actions that then followed?
Yes, I agree with you. There is no precedent, but he has set a precedent now. I hope that it's not followed in future. Frankly, I think it was rather childish. And he doesn't take it seriously. Then he goes and winks and he smiles. And Sonia ji says he was a very good performance. Very good performance to what effect? I don't understand. There was a determined attack and a cogent attack backed by facts and figures on the government's policy in one feature or the other. And that's what I feel.
And like you said, they did expose some chinks in the armor of the BJP. Was there an opportunity here to actually bring forward these real issues of lynching that the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of and has passed an order on, the very real issues of women's safety that we face in this country at this point, the very real issues perhaps of minority issues as well. Has that opportunity been squandered by the Congress party?
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. These are the real issues that should have been highlighted. They should have been emphasized. But Rahul didn't do it. He wanted to just play dramatics, make a drama there.
Right, and when we consider the list of issues that have been placed before Parliament, Mr. Sorabjee, do you believe that these issues have merit? Because the members of the BJP or the ruling party who have spoken so far have rubbished these issues as non-issues, or the fact that these are not real problems. But economic issues and unemployment, things like that, the impact of GST and demonetization, do you personally believe that we are in fact facing these problems in our country right now?
Yes. To be fair, these are issues, important issues, which should be debated and discussed, and the government should give a reply to this. But we don't do that. We get sidetracked into dramatics and various other matters. So I think the whole idea was really, I'm sure the intelligent people, they knew they would succeed, they have the numbers for no confidence motion. They wanted to expose the government, as I said. And to some extent, they may have succeeded in pointing out, not exposing, but pointing out the weaknesses, the chinks in the governments, in the administration. to that extent they may have achieved their goal.
Right, and Mr. Sorabjee, I want to bring your attention, of course, to the lynching issue. The Supreme Court passed an order where it asked Parliament to frame laws that stop lynching in the country immediately with immediate effect. It kept pointing out the seriousness of the issue. Post that, we had the Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, address Parliament yesterday, and he basically turned around and said this is a state government problem. We have enough laws in place. Do you agree that we have enough laws in place to stop lynching? And if that is true, why haven't we managed to stop it so far?
Well, the whole question is lack of implementation. You don't require further laws. You require effective implementation and enforcement of the existing laws. And that's what's lacking, unfortunately.
And you don't believe we need a hate crime law in India?
Sorry?
You don't believe we need laws against hate crimes in India?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Repeat it. But I think we have existing laws can take care of it, Faye. I don't think we need another law. Existing laws are there. Please implement them seriously. And if there is any shortcoming in implementation, that you can remedy. But don't have another law in the statute book unless when you are not able to implement the existing laws. I'm not in favor of having more laws that just confuse matters. Please have effective implementation and many of the problems may be solved.
And Mr. Sorabjee, why do you believe we don't have effective implementation right now? There have been some visuals that have surfaced of lynching where the police were part of the lynch mob. Why do you think the police is not able to do what is right?
But that's precisely it. There's no coordinated policy about that. I don't say there is not implementation. There should be more effective. If by effective I mean but it produces results. It gives benefit to the person for whose benefit the laws have been enacted. Then if they are properly implemented, I'm sure many of the problems, at least some of the problems will be taken care of, will be obviated.
All right, Mr. Sorabjee, thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. Soli Sorabjee, the former Attorney General of India, joining us here exclusively on Mirror Now, telling us that he believes that the Congress party had an opportunity today to expose the chinks in the armour of the BJP, but may have squandered that opportunity by not making a strong enough statement or strong enough speeches in Parliament today. He also believes that the hug and the wink incident from Rahul Gandhi was childish and not becoming of a member of Parliament. We'll take a quick break here on Mirror Now. We'll stay with more news and updates on the other side. Don't go anywhere.